Alright, we're back at David's place, and he got an intake on it, which I don't know why, but it's doing something for me, and I don't know, it's got a whole different look to it. I guess it just looks a lot more finished, but current situation, the air filter, it's a bit snug in here. It's kind of hitting the power steering reservoir, hitting the radiator, so David, what's your game plan here? Are you just gonna extend this straight out, or put an angle it down?
Probably what I'll do is get a longer straight piece, another 45, and another straight piece, and then I'll probably kick it back towards the wheel well. So, kind of similar to what I have on the BMW. Should work well.
Okay, all right.
It doesn't need to be some elaborate piece.
So like straight, and then 45.
Yeah, probably.
You gonna hang it down at all?
Maybe. What I'll probably do is, I think Sicky makes one, so I'll just look at how theirs is ran and then just piece one together, probably.
Word. Not bad. And what you got there? Coffee thermos?
Yeah, this thing likes to drink coffee, so coffee thermos. No, I got coolant overflow here. I'm trying to stick it down in here where I stuck Nash's, but I forgot it doesn't have this harness here, so I might have to figure out something else to do. I don't really want to throw it. Doesn't fit in that back corner with the windshield wiper motor, so I don't know where I'm going to put it.
Would it fit like on the inside of the strut tower there, where those bolts are sticking out? That's probably not. Maybe up front. That's a little close to the master, but like somewhere in here, maybe. It's a little hot right there, but.
No, I don't think, if I remember correctly, it doesn't clear anywhere on this front piece. As low as you can get it, it'll still hit the hood.
But, oh really? Because it's that tall?
Yeah, it's that tall.
Can you tuck it on top of the frame rail here, next to the radiator? Will it fit? Just mount it horizontally.
I don't think that'll work.
Definitely not. Like I said when I first got here, man, I don't know if it's the lighting because it's like an overcast day. The engine bay is just looking good. It's looking really good today.
Maybe it'll work.
Oh, you onto something?
I think I just have it on the bracket. That space might be big enough to clear the harness. Just get that. Oh yeah, maybe it will work. Yeah, I'll make that work. It's gonna work. We'll roll with that. Pause.
Very nice. Well, while I'm here, I was admiring how this thing looks with the new wheels on it. I mean, $700 chassis. It's remarkable. I really like how the factory mud flaps look too. Not too sure why. Are you gonna lower this thing a little more in the rear?
Yeah, I just have it up that high because I've still got to cut it. So, I mean, I'll probably take the wheel off when I cut it. But
Right.
I'm gonna put the over fender on and have to lower it again. So instead of doing it twice, I'll just wait.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You leaving the mud flaps?
No, dude, I can't run.
Because the over fenders?
No,
I like them. I don't know. It's like
the body kit comes.
it's almost like old rally nostalgia.
Yeah,
even
the
though
body kit wraps all the way around, so I got to take those off.
I like them.
Maybe I'll incorporate them in the KBB.
I like them. Oh well. And I have no idea. This car sat for so long.
I think I put the last time you were over here, the interior was apart.
I think a little. It was apart a little bit. In the rear? Oh, in the rear, yeah.
It's got the seats and the trim and stuff back in.
I'm gonna show him. This car sat for so long. It's pretty much, it was down in the bottom in a lady's backyard, and it would just
It's been sitting for 7 years.
sitting for 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years. And I mean, it's just like there's no sun damage that I can see visually. I mean, a little bit of seat fade, of course, but like the dash is uncracked, the steering wheel's in excellent shape, the door cards are in great shape, everything's intact, and there was no rust on the car except for a few minor spots like surface area rust here. Of course, there's like a little spot down there. And then there was a little bit under the battery tray, but that's to be expected, just from batteries doing battery things. But I mean, if only you guys could have seen where we found this thing. It was pretty much, it like mildly flooded periodically.
Yeah, it was kind of in a lake.
And it was just soupy, nasty. Like we had to stomp through mud to get over to it. And it was like kind of sitting on a solid piece of ground. But it wasn't very hopeful when we found it. Kind of expected the bottom to be pretty roached. But super nice lady, and just didn't care that she had a very desirable S13. She said $700, take it. And she held it for him. And I know she did, because he was the first one to message her, and I was the second. She didn't respond to me. Yeah, I think, how many of us went that night to pick this car up? It was like 4 of us, right?
It was me.
Me, you, Nash, and Joel?
Joel maybe went. I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I think he did.
I know that you brought the money for the car, and if you didn't get it, I brought the money for the car. And if I didn't get it, Nash brought the money for the car. So the S13 was leaving that night. We were determined. But hey, it worked out, and here we are. And we went from a pretty solid oil leak KA to LS swap.
Yeah, it's a flaw of mine. Can't help it.
Dave likes to find very minor imperfections with a car's engine and uses it as an excuse to LS swap it.
I can't not work on something. It drives me nuts.
I've got to be tinkering. I get real antsy if I'm not tinkering on stuff.
I got plenty of stuff to work on.
I can't just like sit around.
Yeah. Probably roll with that.
Not bad.
Just throw a nut and a bolt through there. Call it a day. On a hose. Done.
Very nice. Let's see this fitment, dude. Let's see what I came here for. Let's see these overfender fitment.
Update.
Yeah, just a little continuation of last night. The fenders we were tinkering with here, Bondo skimming and sanding, and Dave started to trim and massage these things with a heat gun and kind of grinding down some stuff. But
Yeah, so last night, I haven't added any Bondo or anything. Just doing more fitment stuff today. I figured out, I forgot I was wearing these pants. These are my work pants.
Vintage pants.
Yeah. Ballless chaps. So I started to cut this off. My Dremel died. Gonna cut this other piece off. And then the fitment's been not the greatest. And then the other part that was giving me a problem is where it mounts up front of the chassis. This used to be all one piece, and I cut it out to try to slide it around the metal on the chassis.
So like all of this from down was solid?
Yeah, that was
here?
solid.
Okay. And it's not clearing, what, this corner?
Yeah, it's not clearing that edge. Oh, and then I trimmed up here too. That was hitting the A-pillar.
Gotcha.
So.
Holy shit. I know I glanced at the driver's side, but I didn't really look at it hard.
Yeah, so
That
the driver's
is
side's a little
wide.
better.
That is wide. I'm not looking at the fitment so much as how wide it makes it.
Oh yeah.
Good lord. I mean, look at the door to the fender. That's nuts. You need some serious spacers.
Oh yeah. So
That's
these
sick,
are
though.
plus 12 already, so kind of wide. And then I need like a 15 mil spacer to go like -3. That's kind of what I found to be the good offset. Maybe a little bit bigger, play around with the camber. But we'll get it all dialed in. Looks like I got,
I see what you're talking about with the door gap being pretty big.
honestly, I might bend that back. Because if I keep cutting, I'm just going to have no support.
No structure.
And that's just the corner. So if I just bend that corner back, because it was, you can see where it was really hitting right here.
Yeah, definitely.
If I trim that, I might bend the metal back there so that can go forward.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you keep cutting,
Yeah.
you're only going to have, like, from my fingernail down,
Yeah.
and that's, like, what, an inch of material?
So if I just bend it back, it'll still be structural.
I mean, that's got to support, like, all of this lower section, and it's going to want to flop. And,
Yeah, so, well, they have these, but as you can see, I mean, that's where the factory one, well, that's supposed to be like that. So you can see how far that is.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just have to make some different ones.
Oh, well. We'll fabricate something, or you can trim that corner of the chassis.
But yeah, honestly, after doing some trimming, it's not as bad. It was like really, really bad earlier. That's about where the stock fitment is. It's about a finger. And then once I trim some of that stuff on the backside, I can push it in to keep it from bowing out. So it won't be as bad.
So this has got, like, some play to it. You can, like, push this bottom section there.
Yeah, a little bit. I can maybe mount these on the bottom. It's going to be tough.
Oh, I got you.
But yeah, once I can cut that piece off and let it sink in a little bit, trim some of that still. Won't be as bad.
I see what you were talking about with Bode and why you were trimming that back lip so that that'll sink in, because you've got, like, I mean, sticking out kind of high.
Yeah, the bottom's
I
not
got
as
you.
bad. The bottom's almost kind of flush with the door.
Yeah, it's just got that gap we need to tinker with.
But I don't mind it. They actually make over fenders that kind of bow a little bit. People like the way that looks. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
It's my first time really fooling with over fenders, I guess, in person and kind of seeing it step by step.
Yeah, just buy real ones. Don't. I'm balling on a budget. So.
Well, it's one of those things that, I mean, like most things in life, it's time or money.
Yeah, I don't have either of those.
I think we're all feeling that statement nowadays. But I think, like, of course it sucks that, like, you're doing this in cold weather right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, not cold, but coldish. I mean, I think they just need to, like, get warm. That way they can just be a little more malleable and kind of just, I don't know if they need to, like, kind of settle and form to the body of the car and, like, be anchored down, or if we need to, like, heat it up with a heat gun and kind of just play with it.
Yeah, I'm hoping once we cut this like inner lip out, I think it'll take some stress off of it and kind of let it flatten out, and that'll kind of push forward a little bit more.
I'd imagine so, because I mean that's a deep lip, as you can see there. So you're saying, like, if we trim this lip back, it'll allow, like, the fender to have,
because it's bowed, so I'm thinking it'll just kind of flatten out and help that a little bit.
makes sense to me. It sounds good in theory. Now, if it actually goes that way, we'll see. I think so. I think it'll fix this gap down here.
Yeah, that's.
Because it definitely seems.
This gap won't be as bad because the skirt comes up, I think, like all the way to here.
Yeah. It definitely seems like it's kind of arched up. But I'm seeing what you're saying now. Overall, though, I mean, like, I don't know. The way you were talking about it when these first came in, I expected a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean.
And the first time I laid eyes on them,
I thought they were gonna be bad, And then they came in and they were worse than I thought. And then I was working on them and they're better. And then they got worse and now they're decent. But
So a roller coaster of emotions.
yeah, I've never been really a body guy. I like doing mechanical stuff. So, like, if the body looks presentable, then I'm fine with it. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty neutral on it. I don't think it's terrible. It definitely needs some adjustment. But, like, they sanded out really nice. Some minor pitting was easily patched with Bondo. You can see our Bondo remnants here. Did a fine job doctoring up the nose here. A little nose job on it.
Yeah, you really got to give these things to people's elbow.
Yeah. I mean, in here cleaned up really well. I know that was probably the worst looking area on these fenders, was like up in these vents. So kind of had to dig into it, but it's coming out good. I mean, a good wrap. I think these things are gonna look sick.
Yeah, turned out alright.
Good Lord.
Oh. Yeah.
Have you doctored this one at all?
No. So
Yeah, I can. That's
this fitment's bad because I got to trim off that same stuff on the other side.
Good Lord, dude. I see why you were so discouraged. I mean, this is, that's some bunk from a factory fitment.
Yeah, it's bad.
Good for venting, I'd say.
Yeah, I just got to trim
some brake heat.
I got to trim that stuff to fit around the factory mounting holes that you can't use.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's trying to tie into like the factory mounting tab that's tucked in there.
Yeah,
that,
I think
it doesn't line up like at all.
Yeah, I guess whoever laid this put some blindfolds on or something.
Oh, yeah. So those are pretty much rendered useless, and we're gonna hack them off and doctor that up. So, and then you were like trimming in here so it clears the pillar and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't got that far because I can't get it in that much.
Right.
The other, I think this side fits a lot better than the other side. It needs to still go back some. It's like the point of this is supposed to be at the point of that.
Right.
So I don't know if I need to trim this side yet, but it seems to be lining up a little better.
Probably needs to be cut.
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty far, that's like too far back, and I think that's just now lining up. So.
It's close. It needs to go back in a hair.
But it can't, because it's already touching the door here. So, I'll probably get the door gap fitting good, and then the front's just going to be however. Is what it is. Oh.
You gotta chop these things
I forgot.
up.
These have adjustment too.
The headlights?
Yeah, so these are just like plates, and they have screws on them, so I can just loosen that and then move that around. I forgot about that.
Oh, word? That's convenient.
Yeah, so you might just need to go forward. But this side actually was hit. This side of the car was hit a little bit.
Oh, that's right. It did take a little bonk.
I forgot it was pushed back.
Because there's evidence of some sort of collision right here. Looks like.
I forgot.
Not exactly sure how that happened. Or
Probably gonna need
what
to
happened.
hammer it in anyways.
It's almost like, I don't know, they were turning and like drove into like a small pole or something. I don't know. I'm in detective mode. But if you can adjust the headlight itself, I don't know, dude. That's just.
Yeah, there's a lot of adjustment in the headlights.
It's this body line is. I don't know if we're gonna.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Good Lord.
I already sanded that pretty good last night, knowing it was already wavy.
I mean, like, it starts out pretty solid, and then it just goes crazy.
Goes crazy.
I mean, unless we, like, try and build this out to try and close this gap, you know?
Yeah.
Like, add fiberglass, a little bit of fiber. Kind of like, I don't know, that body line looks pretty good. If you imagine my finger is more fiberglass. I don't know. Need a lot more time on these things, but they're coming along.
Yeah, I'll probably just throw them on there and rock it.
I can't watch this. Alright, David. Good luck with your project. I'm going to go see if my hydro works on my car.
Okay.
Say bye to the people.
Don't get pulled over.
Oh, God. Don't put that juju on me.
Hey, it's a price to pay.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're cool. Do skids.
High risk, low reward. Alright, peace out, dude. Oh, it looks like I'm blocked in. Thankfully, I don't mind being blocked in by something like this. This thing's legit. Dave's dad just picked this thing up not long ago. Tubbed. That thing is wide. So wide. It is nuts. This thing is right. It needs a couple minor things done to it, like since the door handles have been shaved, they've got to wire in some buttons and mount the buttons and stuff like that, but it's legit. This thing is legit.